Hey everyone, how are you? I've been away for a little bit. Apologize about that. Just been super busy with new home building, real estate. So that's why is I've been just slammed with everything else, which is great. So got to prioritize and take care of my my clients first. So, but I'm here now, and I had a request to do a video about finding good subcontractors. So that's what I'm gonna do here. I just wanna throw out there real quick, I've got a private Facebook group for those of you who wanna either build your own house or build a spec house, become a home builder. It's $5 a month. And when you're in that group, I answer any and all questions that are in there. It's just starting now, but I can tell it's gonna be great as far as the interaction in there. You can interact with other people that are in your situation as well, and you'll have access to forms and checklists and other videos that I do as well. So $5 a month for that. That'll be in the description of the video below. I also have my monthly phone call consulting service that I still offer, so you can check that out below as well. All right, here we go. Finding good contractors. This is probably one of the hardest things right now because it's 2022, January 2022. The building industry is booming. The remodel industry is booming. The real estate market in general is booming. So that means that all of the contractors that are out there and subcontractors that are out there are all super busy. So how do you find a good one? And once you find one, how do you make sure that you're going to get the work that was promised to you? How do you make sure that it's going to get done in a timely manner? So here's a few things that you can do. So number one, you can Google. If you are just starting off building a spec house, going to be building a spec house generally in your own home, number one, if you have no knowledge of the industry at all, Google and look at reviews. Now, with some of the subcontractors that we use, they're not even found on Google. They don't have websites. These are, some of these guys are old school guys that they don't have websites. So you're not going to find any reviews about them on there. So this isn't just like, hey, you can Google it and find everybody that you need. It's one out of a few different things that you can do. But that would be number one, is you're looking for an HVAC contractor. So you Google HVAC contractors in my area, you're going to get some different ones that come up, and then you're going to be able to check out how many stars they have, review them. You can kind of investigate from there. So that's one resource. Word of mouth is obviously the best, but if you're watching this video, it's maybe because you don't know anybody that has used subcontractors and you don't have resources that you can go to and find out, hey, who are you using for your framer? Who are you using for your electrician? So what you can do is a number of things. Number one, find a builder's model in your area. So find a builder that has a model home in your area. Pretend like you're a customer, go in, talk with the salesperson, ask questions. Who do you use for electric? Who do you guys use for framing? Who does your basement walls? And hopefully the salesperson knows those answers. There's a good chance that they might not, but they can get back to you, right? They can check with their company and they can get back to you with that information. So that would be a great resource, because you're actually going to be getting names of contractors who do new construction work. Because that's the one thing, is say you Google HVAC contractors. Well, there's a lot of HVAC companies that just do service and repair, and they pretty much just do work in existing homes. They may not do new construction. So you want to find a contractor or subcontractor that is doing work with new construction homes. And you don't want to call somebody who doesn't, and then they're going to take their first job on a new construction home with you. But most likely, if you're getting names of subcontractors from a local home builder there, chances are this local home builder has been using these certain subcontractors for years. Maybe not all of them, but they're working on this builder's homes for a reason. Now, because these contractors are working for a builder and probably work for other builders, there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to get them to do work for you. That's part of the problem with everybody being so busy right now. especially with the good contractors, it's going to be hard for them to, they've got work that they do for 3, 4, 5 other builders to go and do a job for somebody new that hasn't given them any houses before, or that they don't know will give them houses in the future. That's not going to be the easiest thing, but it's going to take some work to find these subcontractors. The other thing that you can do is, if there is a subdivision nearby you where new construction is happening, or there's new construction builds happening somewhere in your area, you can see who's parked in the driveway there. You can look at the building permit that's posted, and a lot of times it'll say who the electrician is, who the HVAC contractor is, who the plumbing contractor is, because all of those specific things need to have permits pulled for them. So most of the time those are going to be posted on the building permit. But again, you can see who's parked in the driveway, and you can wander in the house and you can talk with them, and maybe you can ask them, hey, who did the plumbing here? Who did the, you can get information that way as well. Or maybe you pull up to a new construction house, and maybe it's the homeowners that are there walking through the house, and you could stop and talk with them, and hey, who are you using for your builder? Do you know who they use for their electrician or plumber? And get information that way. Because if you're getting information on subcontractors directly from a builder or a general contractor or somebody who is building with a builder, those are most likely going to be decent subcontractors. No guarantee there, but you've got a better chance there than just picking somebody, I was going to say out of the phone book, but I don't think they even make phone books anymore. They might, but you know what I mean. Another thing that you can do is we're going to get on Google again, and whatever city, town, village, area, county that you live in, you're going to Google Waukesha County Builders Association or Milwaukee County Builders Association. And there's going to be a website that should come up, or Facebook page or something. And there are going to be general contractors that are members of the Builders Association. Now, for the most part, any home builders, any subcontractors that are members of the Builders Association are usually pretty reputable companies. So you've got a good chance of finding somebody that does good work there. If they don't list all of the contractors on their website, you can contact them and ask them, which, plumbers, electricians, framers, draftsmen are part of your association. And they should get back to you with names there. Now, this kind of goes along with that. In our area, our local builders association, a couple of times a year, they put on a home show. So basically they rent out a hall, and all the home builders that are part of the association, all the contractors that are in that association, they all set up booths in this hall, and then the general public can come through, and if they're looking at remodeling their house, or if they're looking for a home builder, they can come through and they can talk with different builders, with different subcontractors, and you can find people that way. Now, you may have maybe the Realtors Association in your area puts on a home and remodeling show or a home and garden show, but any of those types of things that are taking place, and a lot of times those do happen in the winter. Right now in my area, the Milwaukee Home Builders Association has their show going on, and next month we'll have our Racine and Kenosha, we're in Wisconsin, Racine and Kenosha Home Builders show that's going on. So usually the winter months are when you can find these shows that are happening, and you can attend them, and there's going to be plumbers there, maybe electricians, there's going to be different contractors that are there. Or if there are not, I think with ours, I don't think that there is actually an electrician that's ever been there. There's plumber. I don't know if the HVAC company's been there, but you can talk to the builders that are there and ask them, who do you use for HVAC? Who do you use for, and you're not letting them know that, hey, I'm going to be building my own house and I'm looking for contractors. I mean, I would have no problem giving somebody information of who we use if they said that they were going to be building their own house. But some people aren't like that. So you want to just, I guess, pretend that you're interested in having them build your home, and ask them the questions. Who do you use for plumbing? Who do you use for concrete? So you can get some names that way. So those are the different ways that you can find subcontractors, and ideally good subcontractors. Here's a couple bonus tips on how to get good performance out of the subcontractors, how to get things done in a timely manner. Now, I can't take credit for all of these. In fact, I had a video shared with me, and I'll put the link for the video in the description below, because he gets a lot more detailed into this. And it's not just for those people who are going to be building a spec house or building their own house. It was just contractors in general. Like, say Joe Blow is going to be remodeling his kitchen. How does he, once he finds the contractor, how does he ensure that his work is going to get done in a timely manner and that the job is going to get finished? So number one, and this is something that we do as a builder, when the electrician gives us a quote on what it's going to cost to do the whole job, to do the whole house, we can put that number into our budget. And we're going to divide that number into two. And we're going to pay the electrician after he does the rough wiring. So after the house is framed up and he goes in and does all the rough wiring, that's his electrical rough. He's going to receive 60% of what his total was at that point, but only after it's done. So he's got incentive to get that done. If you're paying him ahead of time, if he says, hey, look, I really I need the money for the materials, otherwise I'm not going to be able to start at this point. Well, hopefully that's not a situation you get into where you feel like you're in between a rock and a hard place. Because our understanding is with any of the contractors is you're providing the work and material, and we're paying you once we have the work and material completed. That's just how it is. And I would think that could be how it is all the way across the board. And that's how it should be. So we're going to give him 60%. And the reason we give him more than half is because the materials that they're purchasing up front, the service panel box, all of the wiring, the light switch boxes, the light fixture boxes, if there's recessed lights, all the cans are going in at that time, caulk. He's spending a lot of money up front. In the finish, he's not spending as much money. He's putting he's installing light fixtures, but he's not paying for the light fixtures. You, as the builder or the customer, are. So it's not like he's paying for those out of pocket. He's putting in the rest of the can light. He's putting the switch plates, outlet plates on. So he's spending more in the beginning than he is for the finish. So that's why we do 60% in the beginning, and then 40% again once he's done. So after he's all done with the finish, then we're going to pay him the 40%. We don't want to pay him for the completion until he's completed, because otherwise he may decide he's got something more important going on and he's not going to come back to the house to finish up. So always keep the money out in front of the contractor so that they've got incentive to go to your job and get it done in a timely manner. Now, in some cases, this doesn't matter. The contractors, there are some bad contractors out there, and you may have an electrician that you're using, and even though you haven't paid him yet and he's not going to get paid until the job's done, he still takes forever to get there. And then once he starts, he takes a month to complete the house. And some people just aren't as motivated as others. So there's really, the only thing you can do about that is not use him again. So pay structure, it seems pretty obvious, right? Don't pay the subcontractor until they've done the work. Same thing with, there are certain things you're going to have to give a deposit. I know for us and countertops, say it's quartz or granite, they typically want a deposit, 25%, even if it's half, up front, which is fine. they need that to hold if a customer comes in, or if I come in and I pick out what I want, they're going to want a deposit to basically hold that stone even before they would, go into manufacturing it. So if you've got to give a deposit for that, then again, you're not paying the additional amount of money until the top is installed and you're happy with it. The other thing that you want to be very clear with is the information that you're giving to the plumber or to the framer or to whoever the contractor is. Like, this is what I expect. When you're done with the job, or maybe even when you're done with work for the day, I want the house clean. I don't want stuff laying all over the house. So this is part of, I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars. This is what I expect. So I pay you once you're done with everything. I want the house to be clean once you're done with everything. I want any mess that you've made to be cleaned up before you get paid for anything. Not only that, but there are some things where, maybe it's something that most electricians do, but some electricians don't do this. Or this is the guy who's watching this knows what I'm talking about, and he'll laugh at this, but maybe. So the plumber, he's going to be installing a shower head above the tub shower or in the shower area of the master bath. House is framed up, framers are gone. Okay, the shower head is going right between where there's going to be two studs. Well, you can't mount it to thin air, so what are you going to do? Well, most plumbers are going to find a scrap 2x4. They're going to cut it, they're going to screw it to the studs, and now they're going to mount their shower head and go on about their business. But some of them are going to call you and say, hey, look, I can't mount this shower head. You're going to have to get the framers back here. You're going to walk in and say, really, you can't do that? Or maybe you'll end up doing that. But you want to be specific with what you expect from the framer. Like, I expect you to put in blocking for your valves or for your shower heads if it's not there. That's part of what I'm going to be paying you for. There'll be scrap wood there. If there's not scrap wood there, then of course I'll provide that. I don't expect you to go run to the lumber yard or hardware store and pick something up to do it. But, so putting in there specifically what you expect, like the insulator. I'm not only wanting you to insulate exterior walls, but I want you to caulk around all of the window openings, or anywhere where two 2x4s or two 2x6s are meeting together. I want that gap caulked. So be specific as possible with what you expect from these subcontractors, because otherwise, if you go in there and they're doing their rough and they're not doing something like you think they should be, and you say, hey, what about this? Can you do that while you're here? Or can you do this? Oh, sure, but that wasn't figured into my cost, so I'm gonna have to raise the cost there, and then you're a back and forth there. So that's just something to be wary of. So those are just a couple little things I wanted to throw in at the end there. Sorry for my absence. I'll try to be more consistent. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this. Let me know if you've got any questions. Check out the membership group that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. It'll definitely be well worth the $5 a month. That's all I've got. Thank you. Take care, and God bless.